Welcome back to Career Accelerator. Okay, we have Dr. Woody in the house, joining us as you do every Tuesday.
I am here.
We're talking about flex work. So for starters, what is flex work?
Well, flex work can really be a lot of things, and it kind of depends on how you come at it. But in other words, it's flexible schedules or working non-traditional type of jobs. So it could be telecommuting, working from home full-time. It could be having a part-time schedule where you go into an office part of the time. It could be working remotely. There's a really wide variety of things that flex work entails. But the idea is it's an alternative way of having, instead of having that regular 9-to-5 schedule.
Gotcha. And you have an article on FoxBusiness.com that we can show you on this topic.
Yep.
And it's different than freelance work, correct?
Right. Yeah, right. Because in other words, there are some similarities, but typically flex work is going to be you may be working for a company or what would seem like it's traditional role or job, but your schedule may be more flexible, or you may be working fully from home, which opens up a whole host of different things you need to think about when you're working on that type of schedule versus going to a regular physical space every week.
Working from home is big right now.
It is big, and flexible work and telecommuting are getting big, and there's a couple reasons why. One is right now, companies are trying to cut costs. So one way you cut costs is to cut down on your physical space that you have to rent and maintain.
Makes sense.
So yeah, they're letting people work from home. It's becoming cheaper, and they'll do the setup usually for you when it comes to internet line and phones. So that's one reason. On the other side, we have people out there who are struggling to find jobs, especially in hard-hit areas like Nevada or towns in California where the job opportunities are drying up. So what do? Most people don't have the ability to leave where they are because they may be underwater on a mortgage, they've got kids in school. So what do? You can expand your work, your search by looking at flexible work opportunities or by telecommuting.
2.8 million people consider their home their primary place of work. So that's the size of this
and that's not including
from home
self-employed.
market. Exactly. In addition, 20 to 30 million people work from home at least one day a week.
Right.
Probably on Fridays, right?
I would hope so. But yeah,
so that's just how big of a market this is, and growing, as you mentioned. So the pros are obvious here, right? You don't commute, so you're saving on the train, the gas, whatever else it is.
Who likes commuting? When you're on the train, everyone looks unhappy. So that's a good pro.
And another pro is more flexibility, right, with how you spend your time and what you do during the day. You can even save on your wardrobe, right? You don't have to buy work clothes.
Sure, that's another pro. But think of it this way also. Most of the things, the business of life things you have to get done happen between 9 and 5. So if you're at a traditional job, it's harder to get life things done. If you have a more flexible schedule, it allows for that.
I have a con from personal experience. I worked from home for a little bit, but I essentially worked in the kitchen. So I would just eat all day long. So if you're working from home, avoid the kitchen. It's setting up shop. Bad idea. Keep the office away from the refrigerator.
Yes, you bring up a good point, but it's about creating those psychological boundaries. Because what happens is it's easy to get distracted by TV or food, depending on what your vice might be. But it's also, you need to make sure you manage that blur between work-life balance and when you're working, when you're not, because when you don't have that physical space that's defined to go to, it can be a challenge.
And less social contact, right? With friends and people and peers, and you can have trouble dealing with distractions as well, like I noted with my refrigerator. But also, you know, the movie that you want to watch on TV, or, I mean, maybe you just don't want to get up in time. So there's definitely cons. We're going to talk more about this right now with Sarah Sutton, the CEO and founder of FlexJobs, joining us now from Denver. And you guys are working on something together, Dr. Woody and Sarah Sutton and FlexJobs, about a webinar in about less than 2 hours from now, right? Sarah, is that correct?
Yes, that would be right. Exactly.
Tell us about that.
It's going to be a webinar to help people learn more about what flexible job options exist, what are out there, how to find them, tips on avoiding job scams, working with Dr. Woody on his U plan and the Viper, and a lot of really interesting information just to let people know that there are viable professional options that are flexible.
What is FlexJobs? It's a service, right? You pay for it, it's a website. Tell us a little bit about it. And how did you come up with it also?
Sure. FlexJobs is a service that helps people find professional job opportunities that offer some kind of work flexibility, such as telecommuting, part-time, freelance, alternative or flexible schedules. And I started it myself, like millions of women and mothers. I was looking at job opportunities that would allow me to stay in my career path, but also be a little bit more present for my family and kind of do both.
Right.
And I was really frustrated with what I found, and I saw that window of opportunity. And although I wasn't expecting to start a company while also starting my family, I decided to go for it. It's been really wonderful. There's a big audience of people who want work flexibility for motherhood, but for a lot of other reasons,
Yeah,
whether it's
especially with
military spouses or others. Yeah.
With the kids going back to school, this is a great option for parents right about this time. What are the 5 top industries where you can do flex work?
Well, we have over 50 different career categories. Some of the most popular, though, in terms of volume are medical and health, education, customer service, administrative, and sales. But having said that, there are a lot of other opportunities in nonprofit and philanthropy, marketing, accounting. Really, they're way more than you'd ever expect. And would you like me to give a couple examples of kind of surprising jobs out there?
Yes, that would be great. That would be great.
Okay, wonderful. Well, almost every day our researchers find jobs that truly surprise them that offer flexibility. For example, if you're looking for telecommuting jobs, there are a lot of opportunities that you wouldn't expect that have some level of telecommuting in it. And it might not be entirely telecommuting, but it might have some, maybe it's 2-3 days a week, or it's training for 4 weeks in the office and then telecommuting from home. And some of those jobs that we've seen are remote neurosurgeons, golf instructors, PE and music instructors. And then if you're looking for part-time opportunities, there are a lot more. There are actually a ton of really interesting professional opportunities that offer part-time schedules that you wouldn't expect also, such as pilots, pianists. We've seen neuropsychologists and a bunch of other interesting ones.
Now, Forbes rates your site, FlexJobs.com, one of the top 75 career sites out there. Is there a fee for this, however?
It is. We're a premium service for job seekers. It ranges from $14.95 a month up to $49.95 for a year. We offer a complete satisfaction guarantee. We really want job seekers to feel empowered, and we want them to walk away feeling that they've gotten a good value. And what our service primarily does is we help people alleviate a pain point in the job search process of finding the legitimate professional jobs. And especially in the work from home and the part-time niches, there are a lot of scams and a lot of kind of not professional opportunities. And the work from home market alone, there's between 60 and 70 scams for every one real job. So our team weeds all of those out.
And I'm going to bring Dr. Woody in here. Maybe you can give us a sense of, would you get health care in any of these flex job situations, or that's really an option that's off the table?
I don't think it's off the table. It totally depends. And I think as Sarah can tell you, a lot of these jobs, especially if it's a full-time telecommuting job, or even if it's a part-time, flexible schedule, it may still fall under the same rules that being in that physical office space is. So one thing is, I don't want people to be deterred because of the notion of flex or flexible or working from home if it's somehow really that different from having that same job in a physical space. Because now part-time rules are different, there's no doubt about it, but you can still have full-time flexible work. There's no doubt about it. Like you mentioned, 20-30 million people work 1 day a week from home, but the rest of the time they're in the office. That's a flexible schedule. Same thing with like a lot of telecommuting jobs. They still are maybe working a full-time schedule, but are doing it somewhere remotely. So we have to be careful. We don't want to let those physical walls define it. And I think another thing to keep in mind that Sarah had brought up is, remember, the job that you used to do or the job that you're looking for may actually exist in the flexible world. And you don't know if you don't look for it. You don't know if you don't ask. Even at your current job, there may be flexible options. The only way you know is if you ask to find out.
Yeah, excellent point. Dr. Woody, thank you. Sarah Sutton, founder and CEO of FlexJobs, thank you for joining us. Good luck on your webinar, both of you, later on today. Do you want to say something about that before we leave?
1 o'clock Eastern time today. We'll be doing a free webinar and a Q&A chat with myself and Sarah on just flexible job opportunities and stuff out there. And if you just go to her site, FlexJobs.com, you can log on and find all the info there.
Yeah, great info. Hope we were helpful to you.